Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel NCRT series. Today we are starting with a new chapter, that is chapter 11, New Empires and Kingdoms. We shall see about Samudragupta's Prashasti. Samudragupta is known from a long inscription that was inscribed on the Ashokan pillar at Allahabad. And that inscription was composed as a kavya by Harisena, and inscription is known as a Prashasti. So meaning of Prashasti is what? Praise in Sanskrit. And the poets used to praise the king in a very different manner. They used to call this king as a warrior, a king who won victories in the battle, and this king is equal to God. So in this way, poets they used to praise the king. Okay, we'll understand the map here. The area shaded in green on the map. There were 9 rulers over here. Area which is shaded in green. So there were 9 rulers who were uprooted, and their kingdoms were made a part of the Samudragupta's empire, and these rulers are called as the rulers of Aryavarta. And the capitals which are marked with the red dots, these are the capitals of the rulers of Dakshinapata, and they surrendered to the Samudragupta after being defeated, and Samudragupta allowed them to rule again. Then you could see the purple, the area which is shaded by the purple color. So that includes the Assam, coastal Bengal, Nepal, and a number of Ghana Sanghas. And they used to bring tribute, followed his orders, and attended his court. Whose court? Samudragupta's. So the rulers of the outlying areas, the area marked in the blue color. So the rulers of these outlying areas, they were the descendants of Kushanas and Shakas. And the rulers of Sri Lanka, they all submitted to him and offered daughters in marriage. Next, we shall see about genealogies. So, once again, Samudragupta's mother was Kumara Devi, and she was from Licchavi, Ghana, and his father was Chandragupta. And Chandragupta was the first ruler of the Gupta dynasty to adopt the grand title of the Maharajadiraja, and even Samudragupta used these titles. So what is genealogies means? Poets used to define a ruler from their ancestor, like from their father, grandfather, great-grandfather. In this way, poets used to describe the rulers, their prashastis. Then next we shall see about Harshavardhana and Harshacharita. So Harshavardhana was known through his biographies, and that biography was written by the poet named as Banabhatta, and that is known as Harshacharita. Harshavardhana was not the eldest son of his father. He became king when his father and his elder brother died. And even his brother-in-law, he was a ruler of Kannauj, but he was killed by the ruler of Bengal. So Harsha, he took the kingdom of Kannauj as well. And he was successful in the east. He was successful in capturing Magadha and Bengal. But when he wanted to capture Deccan side, when he wanted to march towards that, he was stopped by a very strong leader from the Chalukya dynasty, that is Pulakeshin II. The Pallavas, Chalukyas, and Pulakeshin's Prashasti. So the Pallavas, Chalukyas, and Pulakeshins, they were the most important ruling dynasties in South India. And Pallavas spread from the region around their capital. Their capital was Kanchipuram to the Kaveri Delta. So they spread till there. And Chalukyas, they were centered around the Raichur Doab. That was between the river Krishna and Tungabhadra. One second. Yeah. Aihole, that was the capital of Chalukyas. And Pulakeshin, he is the best known Chalukya ruler, and he is known by the Prashasti composed by his court poet Ravikirti. These kings, these Chalukya dynasties, they were very strong, but the Chalukyas' victory was very short-lived, because both the Chalukyas and Pallavas, they were defeated by the dynasties such as Rashtrakuta and the Chola dynasty. So their victory didn't live for a long time. It was a very short-lived victory. Next, how were these kings administered? So we shall see how these kingdoms were administered. Some important posts for hereditary. So what is this? Some important posts for hereditary. This means that sons succeeded fathers. Like for example, the poet Harisena, he wrote about Samudragupta. He wrote a kavya about the Samudragupta. We studied in the previous slides, right? So the poet Harisena was a Mahadhandanayaka. His father was also a Mahadhandanayaka, and now Harisena got that post. Next point. Sometimes one person held many offices. For example, Harisena was a Mahadandanayaka, and he was also a Kumara Amatya. Kumara Amatya meaning important minister. And he was also a Sandhi Vigrahika, means Minister of War and Peace. So he used to handle three offices at a time. So some particular person used to handle different offices at a time. And important men probably had a say in the local administration. So probably when making an administration, kings used to listen to the important men of the city. So who are those important men? They are the Nagara Shreshti, or the chief banker, or they could be the merchants of the city, or the Sartvaha, or they could be the leader of the merchant caravans. So kings used to listen to these people during the administration process. Next, a new kind of army. Here I have written about military leader and Samantas. We shall see who are they. In the earlier lessons, in the earlier classes when we discussed, we learned that kings, they used to have a well organized army with elephants, chariots, cavalry, and foot soldiers. But now there were people called military leaders. They provided the kings with troops whenever a king needed them. And these military leaders didn't get any particular salary on a particular amount of time. Instead, they collected the taxes, taxes from the land given to them from the king. So whenever they used to give the troops to the king, kings used to grant some land to them, and they collected revenue from that land and used that amount to maintain the soldiers and horses and provide equipment for warfare. And these leaders, they were known as the Samantas. And sometimes when the ruler was weak, these Samantas tried to become independent as well. Next, assemblies in the southern kingdom. So Sabha is an assembly of the Brahmin landowners. So what was the function of Sabha is they used to look after the irrigation, they used to look after agricultural operations, making roads, and making the local temples, etc. So what is Ur? Village assembly found in areas where the landowners were not Brahmins. So that assembly is called as Ur. Next. Nagaram. Nagaram is an organization of the merchants that is called as Nagaram. Next we shall see about the ordinary people in the kingdoms. So Kalidasa, he was known for his plays, and his most famous play was Abhijnana Shakuntalam. It's a very beautiful story. It's a love story between the King Dushyanta and Shakuntala. It's in the NCERT. You guys can go through it. It's a very good story. And in previous chapter we studied about the Chinese pilgrim. His name was Faxian. So when he came here, he noticed about the untouchability, and and this is how he said about the untouchability. So when a untouchable man, when you want to come into a market, or when you want to get into a city place, he used to strike a wood, so that he used to strike a piece of wood, so that people in that place get to know that untouchable person is coming, and they could avoid touching him. So this is how common people treated the untouchables. So yeah, this was all about this chapter, and all these notes are available in my Instagram ID UPSC Zone. Please do follow it. Link in the description. Thank you for watching. Please do like, share and subscribe my channel NCERT series, and do press the bell icon to get the notification as soon as I upload any of the videos. Thank you so much.